Welcome to our second video, which is detailing how we grade in chemistry. And this is in our Google Classroom Info 9 packet. And this will be our second packet, or our second video on the packet. And we pick up with what are the steps to doing homework on a daily basis. And keep in mind that the written assignment itself is really only 1/8 of what you do. Before you start a written assignment, it's very smart to go back and look over your notes. Then, if there's any areas that you're confused on your notes, be sure that you look at it closely, that you try to sort it out, that you network with other students to clear up any uncertainty or confusion before you actually begin the assignment. Remember, the goal of doing the homework is to understand it and get it correct, not to merely do it so that it looks like it's done and to get the points for doing it. You want to really come away understanding the things that the homework as assignment is intended to help you to learn. Never hesitate to network with other students while you're doing the homework. Sometimes other students might understand things that you were confused on, or vice versa. Then, for a lot of the assignments, answer keys will be posted on Google Classroom. If it is, always check your work versus the answer key. If you're having difficulties, come in for help before school, so that when you end up in class, when you show up to class, you've had as many of your questions already answered so that you feel confident and ready to learn new information that might be coming that day. At the end of doing homework, as it says here in step 8, look over the homework to be sure that you understand what the purpose was behind the homework, to take a look at it to see that you understood what the assignment was asking you, and to really study any things so that learning becomes more permanent. As mentioned in a previous video, for chemistry, if it's a paper and pencil assignment, if the assignment has a B on it, it's expected that those assignments are turned in before school, before advisory, into the folders on the back lab tables. Now that may sound absolutely insane, but there is strong reasons behind doing it this way. One of the biggest reasons is you will be face-to-face with the teacher. It'll be an opportunity to ask questions. It puts you in the room with the teacher at the same time. Getting a little one-on-one help or small group help in the morning can make a dramatic difference on your understanding. And secondly, or along that same lines, learning to get help outside of class time is an important habit to develop in high school before you head to college. Seeing professors outside of the lecture time, getting assistance outside of the lecture is a great way to, first of all, develop a professional relationship with your professor, and to be sure that you understand and get to know the professor a little better, and that you understand the material. Likewise, when you're turning homework in the morning, you'll be around other students that are doing the same thing, and that is an opportunity to network face-to-face. So if you're having trouble on your homework and you know it's something that's going to be turned in the next day, a binder type assignment, paper and pencil type assignment, social network with other students. Say, hey, I'm turning my homework. I should be in there around 7:35. Meet me there so that we can discuss the homework. Again, a great habit to develop for college. It isn't wise in class to use class time to just go over random problems in class if the majority of the students already understand those assignments. That is kind of a waste of class time. So when you get an opportunity to ask questions before school starts, you can be sure that your questions are answered. You don't have to wait on the gamble of whether it will be discussed in class. Likewise, by turning homework in the morning, your teacher, me, I can really look over the homework that you've turned in to see what you understand, to see what you're having trouble with, and then I can also get an idea of what needs to be discussed in class by the questions that are being asked in the morning. So that will allow me to have plenty of time to decide if reteaching is necessary. A huge reason as well for having morning homework turn in is very often I'll get those assignments posted and I will put them on the back lab tables so that when you come in class, your homework will already be graded and out for you to pick up. That would get rid of the collecting of homework, and that would get rid of the passing back of homework on class time. It is an incredible waste of class time, an average of 10 minutes a day. 20% of class in most of your classes are spent collecting homework, passing back homework, or going over homework problems that the majority of the students already understand. We can cut all of that time out. We can save up to, very close to 9 class periods each 9 weeks. That's a tremendous amount of savings in class time. And then a final side note is you'll actually get to talk to the teacher when you come in, say hi, greet the teacher, let the teacher say hi to you, and maybe get to know you a little bit outside of class time. If you happen to be absent on the day of a morning turn-in, turn it in on your next day that you are there. Late points will not be taken off. If you are absent from school, where do you pick up any assignments that were paper and pencil assignments or assignments that are coded with the letter B that should be in your binder? There will be a crate for you to pick those assignments up in. Just find the assignments you missed. How do you know what assignments were passed out that day? One thing is to look at your table of contents. The table of contents will list the assignments that are being passed out each day. And the other place you can check is the advanced planner. Very often we'll have in-class quizzes. If we have a class, this is an assignment that would be graded, and very often in-class quizzes, you'll have the opportunity to sometimes work in small groups. They are traditional quizzes, and the difference between a regular homework assignment and an in-class quiz, the big difference would be that the quizzes can be checked for correctness. If you're absent on the day of an in-class quiz, you'll be responsible to complete that quiz and then turn it in the late folders in the morning. It's not late, obviously, but you'll turn it in the folder in the back of the room in the morning as an assignment. When we have labs in class, you'll be very often expected to turn that lab in the next morning, or sometimes the labs are actually checked in class while you're doing them. Be sure you get all lab work in. And if you miss the day of a lab, you can always talk to people in your class to get data that you missed. Very seldom will you be able to make up a lab the following day, because labs are taken down immediately, quite often the same day that we do the labs, just so that all the equipment is put away and not out. Sometimes we'll have video labs as assignments, and those labs you'll turn in through Google Classroom. Another very important assignment that you have for chemistry are the end of unit reviews. The end of unit reviews are essentially practice tests. Quite often the answer keys for those reviews / practice test will be on Google Classroom. It is possible that the review and practice test could be checked for correctness, but if the answer keys are on Google Classroom, they'll most likely not be checked for correctness. It'll be checked for completeness, as are most homework assignments. The ones that are checked for correctness are usually the in-class quizzes. When you have trouble with any of the questions on the review, a day is set aside to go over the review in class, and that review is one of the best things that you can study in preparation for the test. Some other assignments that we have for chemistry, which may not necessarily fit your normal type of assignment that you would expect in a class, is ACT practice questions. Most units, we will have ACT practice questions to help get juniors ready for the science SAT or for the science ACT test. It's also good advanced preparation for the sophomores as they look ahead to taking the ACT test a year or so from now. We do have, very often we do have videos to watch at home. And those videos are often clips of other teachers teaching similar lessons that we would have in class. That'll give students an opportunity to see other teachers explain the topic. Sometimes it helps to hear somebody else explain it. And guided notes will accompany those. So our traditional note-taking is often done at home, where you complete notes while you watch another teach the video, or while you watch another teacher teach in the video. And that's often called the flipped classroom, where you get notes at home and you do the practice type assignments in class. And we do make use of that tactic in here. Advantages to watching other teachers teach it is you get exposed to other ways the material might be presented. Another big advantage is that you can pause and replay things at home, where when I'm teaching the classroom, sometimes it's more difficult to pause, replay, especially if you're not one that enjoys asking questions in class. A huge advantage of having those videos available for you to watch at home is when you're absent. You won't fall behind because you can immediately get anything that is being discussed in class because you'll have videos that will explain it in a very similar manner. It was mentioned in the previous video that most of our units will end with a unit test. Generally, each 9 weeks, there will be 5 units, so there will be 5 unit tests. One of the big advantages of being sure that all of your homework is completed before you take the original test is 4 out of 5 of those unit tests, on average, can be retaken. So if you are not satisfied with your grade, just be sure that you have all your homework turned in by the original test. The retake procedure will be discussed in class, and then you will have a chance to come in to go over the test with me, and then you'll have a chance to retake the test, and you can earn full points for the test. The retake test is quite often exactly the same as the unit test, just a different order of questions, or the answers might be scrambled so that you can't just memorize the answers. But that is just to encourage students to go back, to retake the test, to improve their grade, and really come away understanding what they were supposed to. And that's the motivation behind the retake test, to give you an opportunity to go back, to study, to relearn what you might have been confused on, to improve your grade. If you're absent on the day of the test, your retake day or your makeup test will be on the same test as the retake day. You will not be permitted to take the test twice. So if you're absent on the day of the test, you will only get one opportunity to take it. That may sound unfair, but if you're absent on the actual day of the test, if you ask me, I will give you a copy of the original test so that you can study from that test so that you have the same exact information that the retake students would have in preparation for the retake test. That will make everything absolutely fair for you. So to retake the test, you have to have done all your homework prior to the original test. You have to come to a study session where we'll go over the test, and then you'll get a chance to retake that test. If you're absent on the day of the original test, you are certainly invited to the retake study session, especially if you were also absent on the review day. If you were absent on the review day and you show up on the day of the test, you will take the test. You say, that's not fair, I missed the review. Well, you have the opportunity for the retake. That makes it absolutely fair. And as you're retaking the test, you'll be essentially going to a review on that special session where we come and go over the test, that retake study session. Another kind of interesting thing, a type of assignment we have for chemistry is the college prep type assignment. These are assignments that are geared to get you thinking ahead to college. Also, we'll have something called a thought problem almost every unit. And the thought problem is a chance to just learn to problem solve outside the normal scope of a traditional chemistry question. So these are just like logic problems and different types of problems that will make you think. Then at the end of every 9 weeks, we have the quarters exam. It was mentioned in the previous video. At the end of every 9 weeks, the quarters exam can't be retaken. You get one shot at it. It is worth 25% of your 9 weeks grade, which is somewhere around 500 points alone. And that just covers everything we did that quarter. We already mentioned participation points. Each unit, you'll get 50 participation points for having all of your assignments completed prior to the day of the test. There are also bonus point opportunities. You can earn bonus points by watching a bonus video, which is a special video that goes beyond the normal type of items and concepts that we talk about in class. It's above and beyond a normal assignment. It's a supplemental video, and you get a large number of points for those, around 20 points for watching the bonus video. Then if you looked on your point tally sheets, there's a place at the top of the point tally sheet for you to write a quote, come up with a quote. You get bonus points for writing quotes. And finally, we have motivational videos that are part of our normal homework routine. Those motivational videos are just to get you inspired. If you have any questions, please